Hello everyone and welcome back to Timberborn. This is episode 34 of the Rigor Ridge series. In the last episode we set up the production line, or the start of it, for this third district. And I don't think we've actually named this district yet. I'm going to go back and look through the comments for today's episode and then some of the old episodes. So be sure to leave your comment on what you think we should name this third district. And also back in Valley High we set up some of this fun stuff over here. They have a couple mud baths. The carousel was already set up, but it is up and running again. And then we have the agora, and then a bunch of decorations and campfires, showers, etc. And in today's episode, I think we're going to be focusing on this district, Valley High. I have quite a few things that I want them to do, and we do have this area that is just about connected up with the first district's power supply. So we're going to go ahead and continue expanding that, getting a few more platforms over here as well. And as long as you make sure the path extends far enough, then I think the beavers of Mountainville should be able to reach everything over here except for this one that you can see the beavers of Valley High are working on. And as long as we continue making buildings over this direction, then we will finally have all this power connected in with these windmills, plus all the water wheels and windmills over in this district. And so we expanded their plank production quite a bit. They only have 167 right now, but I think they also were building a bunch of platforms here, and they finished these ones as well. So I'm thinking that the amount of platforms they have should be going up quite a bit. We have this underground pile for planks. We are running a little bit low on wood, but we were making a bunch of planks, and so I'm hoping that maybe that's going to go up a little bit. Replanting some of these trees that are not birch is probably something that we should focus on. And then with the water from this reservoir here, now it actually irrigates the land over in this area, so we can fill this little patch in with potatoes. And so one thing that I want to do in this district is expand the bot production, and it seems like this might be a pretty good spot to start getting that set up. But first we need to make sure that we have all the raw materials to make bots. And we do have metal blocks in this district, but we aren't actually collecting metal. Instead, what we're doing is we're getting it imported from the first district, and they have this mine over in this area. And so they're doing pretty good on not only metal blocks, but also scrap metal. Although I do want to make sure that these guys will have enough to last. So one thing we might be looking at, probably not for this episode, but in the future, is getting access to this mine over here. And that would mean making a few bridges going across this area. But for right now, getting the bot production set up is not going to be a problem. And before we go anywhere, the drought has officially started. Let's make sure that all the water pumps are paused. And back in the third district, we're going to lower that to just one beaver, but we're not going to pause it. I think all of the food over here is actually irrigated by this little 3x3 block of water over here. And the beavers of District 3, let's see, we almost have everything constructed. We just need to get that last power shaft in. So as soon as they build this one, we can get another straight power shaft set up. Just need to make sure that they prioritize this one first. And then they also will be making these windmills soon. Looks like we're a little bit short on paper. There is paper storage, but are they exporting it? Looks like we don't actually have that much paper that we're making in Mountainville. So they're right on the export threshold. Let's go take a look at their production. I remember we did expand the paper production. We have this one here, plus another paper mill, and then, is it just 3? I think it is just 3. This is the third one. And they have basically no paper in this district. And I do remember we were starting to run out of space to put new buildings that require power in this district. Since we have a drought going, let's look at expanding the production up into this area. So we're going to get rid of this power shaft, and then we'll go ahead and get some dynamite set up over here. We're going to put some power shafts underground, and then we'll start zigzagging up this direction. We will need to get rid of this farmhouse temporarily. Then we'll get that set up, and we'll also have to get rid of this path for a moment. And these buildings do not like that, so let's prioritize these. And we're having water flow backwards? What is happening? Where's this water coming from? Oh, it was probably coming from the dam. Oh, I didn't pause any of this. I paused all the water pumps, but not these mechanical water pumps. Although thankfully they aren't set too deep. We can change what the limits are. I think that would actually not be deep enough. So we'll leave that unchecked at 4. We can slowly start replacing some of the birch that gets chopped down. Although I don't think that the range of this, it doesn't quite reach over here, unfortunately. And I missed a water pump, so let's pause that. We do have this fluid dump turned on now, so hopefully that can fill up a little bit of this area. Well, we did get all the dynamite placed, so let's start detonating that. And then as soon as this platform is built, that should connect everything. Not quite. We have to get another path. So as soon as this is built now, this should be able to tie into this district. And then we'll be able to delete this path and put some dynamite in without interrupting the services between the two districts. But in the meantime, we can start placing some power shafts over here, and then we can start working our way up. Now we can get rid of this path. You can see everything is working out. So we'll get this dynamite placed here. We are building a couple small bridges, which will get us over here, and then we'll need to get, I think, at least 3 tiles down, maybe even one more. But then we can start zigzagging back up to get all the power available for some of the new buildings over here, and one of those buildings will definitely be a paper mill. But we will wait until we get the power shafts over here, then we can start placing some of the buildings. And you can see the beavers of Valley High are coming to help construct everything over here. The beavers' teamwork is unmatched. And back in the 3rd district, you can see that we got the first windmill set up. Now we can get this junction power shaft set up, and they are still a little low on paper, so we can go back to Mountainville and keep looking at the power production, or not the power production, the paper production. We're going up a little bit in paper, but we really got to get this whole thing constructed. And then, as I was trying to do before the drought started, we can start looking at getting some of these buildings for the bot part factories. So here we have the layout for the bot part factories and also the bot assembling locations. Also have a refinery set up, and we're going to have this set to biofuel with carrots, or with potatoes. And I'm also looking at it, we could probably replace some of these platforms with storages. So let's pause it for just a second, and then get rid of these buildings which have not been constructed yet. So now we can select the different bot parts to be stored in these buildings over here. And then we'll need to get some storage set up for the refinery as well. And now after we select all the different parts for these bot part factories, I think the beaver should be just about ready to get everything underway. So this is the perfect ratio. We have bot chassis in this one, and then bot heads and limbs in the other two. And the rate at which they make the bot parts is perfect to support 2 different bot assemblers. And then having only one refinery for now will be more than enough to get all the biofuel we need for the bots that come out of these buildings. And one of the reasons that I want to get bots is because I want to expand some of the food planting area. We do have quite a bit of food over here, and I think that we actually don't have enough storage right now, so we'll probably look at getting some more storage set up over here in the future. But I do want to kind of plan ahead a little bit, make sure that we have enough food to support all the beavers and the bots through the refinery process, and then through the beavers eating the food. And having all the bots will be useful because they can actually place terrain blocks, so we will be able to expand over in this direction. We'll take out a little bit of the storage space for the water from the large reservoir, but we'll probably do the areas that don't have that much water, maybe somewhere over here, and then some of this area as well. And then also, I am wanting to look at getting some of these bad water sources capped off. There's the bad water dome, and we'll probably block off at least a couple of these. Maybe we'll block this one off. And then we can get at least one bad water rig set up. But this will be last, I think, because this will need to be above the water sources. And right now, if we built it down here, we wouldn't be able to use it because the entrance would be blocked and it'd be flooded. But that's probably quite a bit in the future because these take a lot of resources to construct. We do have enough science to unlock both of them, without a doubt. We have 58,000 science at this point. I don't think we couldn't unlock anything. Yeah, we only have a handful of items that are not unlocked. So, at this point, science actually doesn't matter at all. So we can really start pausing some of these jobs. Back in Mountainville, they have constructed everything that I have placed for them except for that dynamite. So that was ready. Now we can start looking at doubling back. We'll need to get some more dynamite set up here as well. I think that should be perfect because then we can put another turning power shaft, and then where this dynamite is we can place a high power shaft that'll start going back up. They are constructing all this super quickly, and there's a bot in here. How did he get into this district? We currently have no bots. Is it because this building is within range of Mountainville? It might be. So I guess they can reach it. Oh, because it goes under here, and then this path is not there, so that that is something else. So the beavers are starting to work in these buildings now, and we will want these to be switched to bots pretty quickly because it'll help keep the beavers of this district safe. And they are nearly done. They just need to get some of these platforms set up, and then the storage for the biofuel. And we are missing quite a few beavers. We have 16 vacant jobs, but I think that some of those are over here, and then yeah, the rest are in this one, so that shouldn't be a problem. We do have bread. How do you have bread in this district? I don't think we even have any bread storage set up. Well, how these beavers have bread is a mystery to me. I can't find any bread storage over here. Even with this handy little tool, I'm not seeing any. So, we'll leave that. I don't know. But we do have the dynamite ready. And so the faster we get this set up, the better. And that also means that we can start looking at getting some of these buildings placed. So we'll start off with a couple of paper mills. And so now I think everything should be connected in, because they had the power shafts going all the way over here. And after we select that to store biofuel. So now we can see this is producing 5,600 power, and it requires 6,100 power. And over in this district it is the same thing. And so we are losing a little bit of power, but that is why we have the gravity batteries. And then during the wet season we'll be able to start charging everything up again with some of these water wheels and with some of these water wheels and these ones over here. So I think for now we can pause one of these bot assemblers because we need to wait for some of these parts to be constructed. Then we'll have the bots start, or we'll have the beavers start assembling the bots, and then once we have a few pairs of each of these parts stored up, you can see we have some limbs ready and a couple heads, but we don't have any chassis quite yet. So once we store all those up, then we can turn the second bot assembler on. And you can see that they are getting these paper mills constructed pretty quickly. We can switch that to bots because we have 11 unemployed bots, which we do not want that. So at this point I feel like we should have just about every job filled up with bots, so let's go make sure that that is the case. We do have a couple farmhouses that we have some beavers in. We'll switch all those to bots, although I don't think we need 6 bots over in this area. We just need a couple. Maple syrup is fantastic at this point. We planted a lot of trees over here, and that seems to have done the trick. Although there isn't any water right here, so we need to make sure that we have this set to a bot. It's not a perfect system, but we have the water slowly dripping all the way over here. And then as soon as it fills up this area, we can fill in some of these holes. Oh, we have some water in here, but we want to get this one filled up also. And the beavers of District 3, they are, oh, they're maxed out on wood. How are we doing on wood overall? In the first district, Mountainville, they have a decent amount, and then I think they have even more. They have way less. Maybe we should look at exporting wood from this second district to, or from the third district to the first district. So District 4, let's do import if needed, and then let's drop that down to 50%, and then Mountainville, import if needed. We have a pretty low threshold, so I think that's okay, leaving that there. And then Valley High, yeah, we have a pretty low threshold already, but we don't really have that much wood. Now we don't have any direct connections from this third district to Valley High. We could set one up, but that would be, man, that would be quite an endeavor. I don't think we'll probably be doing that. If we get a fourth district set up, maybe over in this area, then we could get a connection from District 3 to District 4. But that is that is not something we're going to be doing today. We have so many things that we've been bouncing between in this episode already, and one of those being the paper mills, and we gotta prioritize these by haulers. And then one of the other things we've been working on is this production area. Looks like they're starting, wow, they almost filled this biofuel tank up. Wow, that is pretty quick. So let's drop that. We don't need quite that many beavers working in here, considering we have 0 bots right now. And then back in this third district, we did get the second windmill constructed. Looks like we are slowly charging it up. We might need another windmill, considering how much power these use. So we can go ahead and start looking at that. And we have just under a day left of the drought, and it looks like just having one beaver working in this large water pump is not too bad. It did lower the water elevation a little bit, but that was to be expected. It shouldn't take too long to fill this back up. And these guys are doing just fine on water. In fact, I don't think they've hardly dropped any at all. So we could probably just leave one beaver working in this for now. Maybe we'll go up to 2 during the wet season. But let's take a look at the Beaver's Wellbeing in District 3. Make sure that they have access to all the amenities they need. Wow, they are all nearly perfect. Although we have to get some more roofs and scarecrows and the farmer monument, but that's probably for some of these beavers over here. We are doing pretty good on planks. Maybe we can look at getting this second monument set up. That'll take quite a few planks, but we do have beavers working in these 2 lumber mills. So we need more roofs and scarecrows. Can we do that right here? If we get the scarecrow placed right here, I can do it. Okay, we get the scarecrow placed right there. And then let's get a shrub, although, wait, can they reach that? It doesn't say they can't reach it. There's no way they can construct this. This seems like it would be too far. And then we can just get a single roof placed right here. Pause that. I want to see if they can actually build this. Let's wait until the next day. And you can see the drought has ended. We'll bump that up, and then I want to watch them construct this shrub over here. Let's high prioritize that. See what the beavers end up doing. Are they going into the house? What the heck? I didn't know that was allowed. Well, I guess they're gonna do that. We'll get that roof constructed. I want to set up a bulletin pole. We'll get one placed right here, and then I was gonna place it right here, but if we want to put some more campfires in, having this 3x3 section free is ideal. Man, really it would make sense. Okay, they haven't fully constructed that yet. Let's actually get rid of this and then move this shrub, because if we have this here, then this reaches all 4 of the campfires instead of just these 2. So we'll high prioritize that, and then we'll get a shrub placed here, but we'll pause that because I suspect they could construct this faster than this one. So we'll leave that and go start unpausing some of the other water pumps. And the water is starting to flow. We have these 2 water pumps turned on, and now the water wheels are going to be spinning up. We can also start unpausing these mechanical water pumps, although I am seeing some hungry beavers. Oh, it's just because it was the end of the day. We're a-okay. You can see the total power supply is starting to go up with these water wheels spinning, and then all the other water wheels starting to spin. And the windmills are slowly spinning. Although one downside if we do end up blocking all of these bad water sources is that we would lose a bit of power because all the bad water going through this area would no longer be able to flow. And that is where we're going to wrap up today's episode. We were bouncing around between the districts quite a bit, although I think we got a decent amount done. We focused pretty heavily on getting all the paper situations figured out, so now it looks like we are actually going up in paper. We'll probably need to get some more paper storage set up. And we also started producing bots, and it looks like we almost have our second bot constructed, 71% of the way there. We do have an extra bot who needs a job, so maybe we'll toss him in this job right here. And in District 3 we set up a couple more windmills, and we're also looking to get this second monument constructed. That takes a lot of planks, and we are currently at 0, so we'll need to wait a little bit for these guys to make some more planks from the lumber mills, and I think we might want to pause the gear workshop for now. And once again, we still haven't named this 3rd district yet. Leave a comment down below on what you want to see this district named. If you enjoyed today's episode, go ahead and smash that like button. I really do appreciate it. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. We're getting pretty close to hitting 1,000 subscribers. And with that, we will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.